All right, we'll continue to bring you all the developments from the Democratic National Convention, but let's shift our focus now. Wrapping up his 9th West Asia visit since the Gaza war began, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that there was no time to waste in securing a ceasefire deal. The top U.S. diplomat also said that Washington does not support any long-term occupation of Gaza by Israel. Speaking to the media in Doha before flying back to Washington, Blinken warned that time is of the essence for a truce deal.
This needs to get done, and it needs to get done in the days ahead, and we will do everything possible to get it across the finish line.
Blinken reiterated that Israel has accepted a proposal by the United States to bridge the gaps between the two sides for a deal and urged Hamas to follow suit. However, media reports quoted Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as saying that his government would insist on keeping control of the Philadelphia corridor on the Gaza-Egypt border. When asked about Netanyahu's remarks, Blinken said that since the start of the conflict, it was made very clear that the United States does not accept any long-term occupation of Gaza. Earlier on Tuesday, Blinken flew from Israel to Egypt for talks with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Blinken then traveled to Doha, where he met Qatari Minister Mohammed bin Abdulaziz bin Saleh Al Khulaifi. Mediators met last week with Israeli negotiators in Doha, and more truce talks are expected in Egypt this week. According to Palestinian officials, the war has killed over 40,000 people in Gaza. In the latest Gaza health authorities claim at least 10 people have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a school housing displaced Palestinians. Meanwhile, Israel's military said it had recovered the bodies of 6 hostages from southern Gaza. Israel said that the bodies of the hostages were found 10 meters underground in a Gaza tunnel. Israeli protesters took to streets in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem demanding a hostage deal. Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guard said that there could be a long wait for Iranian retaliation against Israel over the killing of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. For more on this, our correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us this report from New York. Listen to this.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has ended his 9th Middle East trip without securing a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. And despite some progress made, differences remain. Time is of essence, according to the U.S. diplomat. Israel had accepted this bridge gap proposal, but Hamas said that it's a complete reversal of what they agreed to. The U.S. is now pushing for a ceasefire and hostage release, but wide gaps remain. Israel's prime minister met with families of fallen soldiers and hostages who oppose a ceasefire deal. Meanwhile, Israel recovered the bodies of 6 hostages and protests erupted. The war has killed 40,000 Palestinians, and 8 groups fear of a disease outbreak. The Israeli strikes continue and civilians continue to be displaced. The situation remains dire despite these recent negotiations, with a fear of a wider conflict breaking out in the Middle East region. Susan Teherani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.